Hello everyone. So now I'm going to be going through the tutorial called Exercise 1 in your Rhino Training Manual Level 1, and the auxiliary model that is associated with this particular exercise is called Start. So let's begin by opening your auxiliary model called Start. Once you open this file, you'll notice that this file contains 5 objects: a cube, a cone, a cylinder, a sphere, and a rectangular plane, which currently cannot be selected because it is under a locked layer, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our viewport layout from 3 viewports, 1, 2, 3, to 4 viewports, like so. Go up to your top menu bar, select View, Viewport Layout, 4 viewports. Okay. Now, once you have the 4 viewports on your screen, the next thing that we will be doing is turning on Grid Snap, which can be found in your status bar on the very bottom of your Rhino interface. Grid Snap may already be on in your system, which is certainly my case. It's already on. So be careful that you do not turn it off instead of on. If Grid Snap is on, it will be bold and in black in the status bar. If it is off, it will not be bold in the status bar. Next, we're going to click in the perspective viewport to make it active if it isn't already your active viewport. And then we're going to continue from there. And keep in mind that you can tell when a viewport is active because the viewport title highlights when it's active. The active viewport is the viewport where all of your commands and actions are going to take place. Okay, so next, click the arrow icon to the right of the perspective title or right mouse click on the title to open the drop-down menu and then click Shaded. The objects will now appear shaded. A shaded viewport lets you preview the shapes. A viewport will remain shaded until you change it back to a wireframe view. You can change any viewport to shaded mode, by the way, and later we're going to discuss the other viewport display options. Next, I want to give you guys an introduction to a render. So let's go ahead and go to the top menu one more time, and this time select Render, and then click Render one more time. Rendering the model opens a separate render window like you see here. The model displays and render colors that have been previously assigned to the objects, and you can also set lights and a background color. You will learn about doing this later. Keep in mind you can't manipulate the view in the render display window. However, you can save it as an image to a file. Okay, so let's go ahead and close the render window for now. And now in your perspective viewport, I want you to get comfortable with orienting and navigating around in the file. So in the perspective viewport, click and drag with your right mouse button held down to rotate the view. The plane is what helps you stay oriented. If the objects disappear, you are looking at the bottom of the plane, like so. So I'm going to orient us back in the correct orientation. And next, we're going to visit with a variety of different viewport modes, which reflect how the viewport is displayed. So let's begin with X-ray. And what we're going to do is click the arrow icon to the right of the perspective viewport title and then click X-ray. Next, we're going to one more time, we're going to visit another viewport mode, and we're going to click the arrow icon to the right of the perspective viewport title, and then we're going to select ghosted this time. And one more time, click the arrow icon to the right of the perspective viewport title, and then click rendered. And if you notice, the rendered mode is the most accurate preview that Rhino is going to give you of an actual rendering. Alright, so moving on, we're going to visit a few more of these viewport modes. We're going to be visiting technical, artistic, and pen. So let's go ahead and start with technical. One more time. Click the arrow icon to the right of the perspective viewport title, and then click technical. Technical mode displays lines as though the drawing were a 2D flat drawing on paper. This mode uses real-time silhouettes and intersections, creases, borders, blended, shaded, and rendered display. Objects behind other objects appear occluded. Next, we're going to, one more time, click the arrow icon to the right of the perspective viewport title, and then click artistic. Artistic mode displays lines as though the drawing were a 2D flat drawing pencil drawing on textured paper. And one more time, click the arrow icon to the right of the perspective viewport title, and this time select pen. Pen mode displays lines as though the drawing were a 2D flat pen drawing on paper. And one more time, click the arrow icon to the right of the perspective viewport title, and then click on wireframe. To rotate your view, drag from the bottom of the view towards the top, like so. And now you're looking under the objects, looking up. So to really understand what we're looking at here, let's go ahead and change the viewport mode to shaded. And that should help you understand how it is that we are underneath the objects and looking upwards at them. And you'll notice also that once you change your viewport mode to shaded, that this gray plane obscures the objects. In shaded mode, the plane helps you see when your viewpoint is below the object. So go ahead and orient yourself back in the correct direction. And this concludes exercise 1.